Well, folks, this is a bit of a rarity for me, but I'm just on to do a bit of a recap for what went down at this morning's New Japan Pro Wrestling Camp Pro Wrestling event. But mostly, let's just get some of the main stuff out of the way. As far as match content went, it was good. Some matches more so than others. But we do have a few title changes. First off, in our second match of the day, Kushida and Kevin Knight recaptured the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles over the duo of Bullet Club's Clark Connors and Andrew Maloney. So now this takes the target off the back of the War Dogs and sticks it on the Intergalactic Jet Setters between now and Wrestle Kingdom. Because next on the docket is the Super Junior Tag League. And Knight and Kushida are going to have that target on their backs. Because whoever wins that tournament is going after them for the belts. Not going to be pretty sad if it's the War Dogs again. Simply put. At this point, it's going to become a running gag. Other major news coming out of the event, and it's a bit somber, and bittersweet. After the trio of Shota Umino, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and El Fantasmo defeated the House of Torture, Tanahashi unfortunately announced that after next year, specifically at the 20th Wrestle Kingdom event, January 4th, 2026, he's hanging it up. The Japanese version of John Cena hanging it up. Depressing. Though I did mention I forgot to mention we do have another title change. Unfortunately, it's one I knew would happen but didn't want to see happen. Ren Narita sneaking his way through a triple threat between himself, Jeff Cobb, and Yosuke. And basically stealing away the New Japan World Television Championship. Yeah. Ren's gonna have his head on a chopping block sooner or later for that. As I was saying, when it kind of makes sense that picking the bones with Cobb and Suji so distracted on killing each other that they took Narita out. That Narita was basically ignored from the equation. That's the downside of a triple threat. Then you have a return, a rather shocking but triumphant one, after Doki basically pulled a Keishan Liger on show and beat him in 14 seconds, i.e. basically scared the living shit out of him, as most of the match, quote-unquote match, happened outside the ring before the bell even rang, which showed jumping Doki, and then pulling the ultimate disrespect of ripping his mask off to reveal like that Kabuki-style demonic face paint on the lower half of his jaw, spewing the red mist in the show's face, and hitting him with a pair of suplex de la lunas. Basically a wheelbarrow dragon suplex whose name translates to the suplex of the moon. But shortly thereafter, Kanemaru attacked Doki and wanted another crack on the power struggle. But Usha somehow show up at the 11th hour, but Master Wado. I had openly stated when he got injured in January that we weren't going to see him back until around the starting point of the Super Junior Tag League, which is 10 days away from now. And sure enough, he's back. However, he's going to be going in for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Power Struggle instead of going into the Tag League to team with Despy. I don't have an issue with this, to be perfectly honest. And it looks like another Bullet Club head honcho is going after a tag title. He's going to be having to defend his title again at Power Struggle. After retaining his global title against Hiroki Goto and basically making Goto's, I'm going to assume, like 5 or 6-year-old daughter cry because David Finlay's a piece of shit. He then wanted to challenge Yuya Uemura, face Yuya Uemura at Power Struggle. The only problem? Uemura is still out with an elbow fracture. And at minimum, that takes 6 months of recovery time. It's only been about 2. I don't see Uemura coming back until after Wrestle Kingdom at the worst. At best, he comes back in time for Wrestle Kingdom. That being said, however, Taichi has stepped up to the plate. And rest assured, November 3rd, he's going to strike out. I just have that bad feeling in my gut that he's going to strike out. That was in the semi-main event. Finally, in the main event, Zack's plan, Sabre Jr.'s plan to cash in his G1 opportunity at KOPW instead of at Wrestle Kingdom paid off as he defeated Tetsuya Naito in about a little more than 24 minutes to get the job done. Clever move, and now he is only the second Brit to hold the IWGP World's Heavyweight title. Now he gets Sonata this coming Sunday in the Crystal Palace in London at Royal Quest 4. Who he gets after that? Who knows? We've got Shota Umino and Shingo Takagi waiting in the wings. How would I sort that out? After Zack gets through Sonata, November 3rd, you take on Shooter. January 4th, Shingo. Or you could just have the two do a number 1 contenders match at Power Struggle, and then the winner goes to Wrestle Kingdom. And it more likely is going to be Shingo. Which I wouldn't have an issue with, to be perfectly honest. Because we know that Zack will have his hands full November 17th at Historic Crossover 2. He teams with Micah to take on his old Suzuki Gun stablemate, El Desperado, and the Starlight Kid from Stardom in Nagoya. I mean, what have we got going to Royal Quest so far, aside from Zack versus Sonata for the world title? Well, and Ishii and Tanahashi versus Team DK for the strong tags. We recently had added Shota Umino versus Callum Newman, be fun. Yota Tsuji against Drilla Maloney. Okay. Kosei Fuji against Michael Oku. That one's going to be interesting. And finally, Mira Shirakawa and Kanji against Danny Luna and Azim, or Amzi, or however you pronounce it, from Stardom. Should be interesting to see how these matches play out. Because I don't know how the fuck they're going to play out. Excuse me a minute. Stupid watch. In any case, how things will play out, who knows? But that's it for tonight for this stream. I'll be back later this afternoon to do Game 2 of the Mets and Dodgers. Like and subscribe to me and the rest of the Big BK, of the Big Blue crew. Later.